Hello everyone. Today we shall see the problem solving session on Unit 5. We'll try to work on these four different problems. In fact, the first problem is based on the control flow, which involves the concept of looping. That is specifically talking, it would involve nested looping concept. And the remaining problems are based on the data structures, which is based on a list and dictionary. So let us see the first problem, that is the Floyd's triangle. We need to generate a Floyd's triangle, that is by accepting the number of rows from the user. Let us discuss this problem before implementing it. Now assume that we are supposed to generate the Floyd's triangle for 5 rows, because based on the number of rows we can decide upon what can be the Floyd's triangle. If the number of rows are 5, then we have this picture of Floyd's triangle, wherein each row will have those many number of elements. Now what does this mean? For example, if I say the first row, it will have 1 element, second row will have 2 elements, third row will have 3 elements, and so on. Now we need to implement this by using a logic wherein we are supposed to make use of 2 loops. Let us call this as a while loop, one outer while loop and another inner while loop, that is loop within loop, nested loops. Now this outer loop will track the number of rows to be generated, in this case let us say 5, and the inner loop will try to establish a relationship with the outer loop, so that whenever the outer loop is let us say for example the outer loop is row number 2, then it is supposed to generate only 2 elements. For example, the row number is 4, then it is supposed to generate only 4. So there will be a relationship that we need to establish with the variable that is actually keeping track of the rows, so that subsequently the inner loop will generate those many elements. So let us visualize this with the help of a code. Assume that n is the number, we keep track of the number of rows, so let us call this as n, and we'll accept this value, the number of rows from the user. Also, I have converted immediately to the int, so that we need not have a separate statement. So int of the entire input, and let us use another variable. Let us call this as number of rows, that is rows equals 1, which is going to keep track of the rows. And then we require a counter which will keep on counting from 1 to that number which we are supposed to generate. So with this we'll have a outer loop established here, saying that rows will keep on incrementing the value till it is less than or equal to n, that is rows is less than or equal to n. And once it is this constraint is established, we'll take another variable, we'll call it as j, which needs to be correlated with the rows, so that we can generate only those many elements of those with respect to the rows. Now this j would run from while j is less than or equal to, you must have understood this, now it is less than equal to rows. Now as long as this condition is true, and as long as j is less than rows, so those many elements will be generated, and this would be done by the counter. So we just have to print the value of the counter, comma, with some space here, and then we'll try to use this printing to be done on the same line, so that the next number is also printed on the same line. So we'll use this end, one of the lecture you can refer it, and then subsequently I am supposed to increase the count of j is equal to j plus 1, and as well the counter equals counter plus 1. So once the inner loop is over, so it will come out of it. So this is the outside of the while. I have pressed a tab key, backspace. Now here in the outside of the loop of this inner while loop, I know that I am supposed to switch my row, that is I am supposed to go to the next row, and that can be done with the help of a new line character, that is \n. Now after this, you know that I am in the outer loop, so outer loop needs to change its condition now, that is number of rows should be incremented so that it goes to the next row. Now rows is equals to row plus 1, and once this is done, that's it. So it will generate the Floyd's triangle. So this is the logic that is required. What I will do is I'll just go through it again. So we first of all accept the number of rows and convert it to integer so that n is keeping track of it, the total number of rows. Then we take two variables, one is for tracking the rows and another is to track the numbers. So these both are initialized to 1, and then we say outer loop, establish two loops, one is outer loop and then inner loop. Let us use the while rows is less than or equal to n, j equal to 1, so it comes inside, because every time j is 1 and it has to generate those many elements of that row, so we'll try to initialize every time it comes inside. While j is less than rows, now this will have a relationship with the rows, it will keep on printing the counter value, it will increment the j, increment the count, and counter is not reset, so it will keep on incrementing. So that is the logic required here, and finally when it comes out, you need to print a new line character and subsequently increment the row. So let us run this code here. Now it is asking me to enter the number of rows. Let us enter the number of rows as 4, and when I enter 4, it is generating for 4 rows, so 1 2 3 to 10. Again I will run this and we'll see how it works for 5. Now you know that we had this particular diagram, that is the Floyd's triangle for 5 rows. So this is how you can incorporate the logic. It's a very simple program. So I hope you understood this. So let us now the next problem, which says that problem number 2, write a Python program to eliminate the duplicate items of a list. Now this is another interesting problem wherein you need to eliminate the redundant elements from the list, and this happens to be one of the lab problems that you can work on. Now what is the logic that is required? One thing is clear, the original list is taken, and that original list is processed and added to another list so that we can eliminate the duplicates. Now how do we work on this? Let us check it out with the code. Assume that this is my original list which contains all the items here, wherein there are duplicates here, 2 3 4 is repeated, 5 1 7 is repeated. So we need to generate a list that is free from the duplicates. So let's call this new list as new LST equals empty list, and then we'll try to process this original list so that we'll take each item from the original list. You know that let us call this as a var, for var in items, so that we'll pick each item from the list and add it to the new list if not present. So we'll say for var not in new LST, then we'll keep on adding it to the list. Now how do we add it to the list? You know that if you can recollect from one of the previous lectures, we have a method called as append. So we can say here new LST dot append brackets var, so it will keep on appending only those items which are not present in the new list, and nothing else is there in this program. And finally when you come outside the loop, you just have to print this new LST, and that's all is the solution. So it's a very simple solution but very useful program that you can use it to eliminate the duplicate items. So let us run this and see what happens. Now what you see here is only the items which are not duplicated or which are unique in nature, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. That's all is the solution. I hope you understood the solution of both the problems.